All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the mid-season finale for The Walking Dead Season 10. In this one, we'll start with going over the preview pictures. All of the different preview pictures have been released for this mid-season finale, episode 8. And then after that, we'll get into some of your guys' Q&A questions after the video yesterday about The Walking Dead possibly ending in Season 12. And we'll compare, give our thoughts on whether or not we'd like to see the original Walking Dead series end, or possibly them end Fear, and then cross over the Fear cast into The Walking Dead to have it continue past that point. Alright, so starting with the first picture we have for this mid-season finale, it looks like this one is going to take place mostly at the ocean side, which, different, right? This year to actually get to see the ocean side. I think in Season 10, the ocean side is a really cool spot. In prior seasons, I have not felt the same way, but it looks really cool this season. I like what they did with it in the premiere, and so I actually am kind of looking forward to seeing it again in this mid-season finale because it looks pretty exciting. So here we have Michonne, who's there. We know she was last at the hilltop with Luke and Judith. They had left there and gone to the ocean side, so they may have been there for a little while now, possibly some stuff that we haven't seen yet, but at some point during this episode, most likely it will sync up with the others because it is a mid-season finale, and there are some pictures of some Whisperers in and around, which is kind of cool. So we have her there. We have Judith with her, of course, because she went with her, and she's got her little katana, her little sword, right? So that's fun. And we saw in the promo video for this mid-season finale that she's gonna take a hack at somebody, be it Virgil or I guess we'll see. She's gonna take someone down, and looks like Michonne is going to be pretty happy to see that. She's still got the sheriff hat, but is it missing the front emblem at this point, I think? So I don't know what to say about that, but she still got it, so there it is, the infamous cap, I suppose. Yeah, it's missing the front part. I'm not sure how long that's been gone for. Maybe I just noticed it, but so here we have, I think Virgil's probably on the ground in front of the two, and you have Judith who's got her sword pointed at him, which is really funny. Kind of adorable in a way, but also from his standpoint, I mean, I guess it's a little girl. She's got a sword pointed at your face, so I guess you do what they say, right? So that's I don't know, it's kind of cool. Michonne there with the attire. Michonne's attire looks a little bit different. You got like the patches on the pants and stuff like that. So, but it fits with the times because it's so many years into the zombie apocalypse now in the original Walking Dead series that makes sense. Here we have one of Judith maybe just before with a walker kind of coming up. So at her age, it's just ridiculous to see her kill walkers. But I mean, the way they do it works. So it's just kind of fun and cute at the same time, right? Isn't it? Then we have the Oceanside Cabin Motor Court. So here's kind of the central spot, I guess, in the Oceanside. You have Cindy, who I almost kind of sometimes forget she's still in the series, and whoever that is with her, I'm not sure what her name is. And then we have Michonne as well here too. Them talking about something. Don't exactly know what, but I guess we'll see. Obviously, something's going to happen at the Oceanside in this episode because, again, it is a mid-season finale, so we should see something cool happen. We have the two of them there with Michonne. And then we have this one here of Gamma talking to somebody. Of course, recently she was talking with Aaron, so I don't know if the person she's looking at right here is Aaron or if it's, I don't know, Carol, somebody else, beige shirt, so something to look for, I guess. But we'll have to see if that's near the Oceanside or if that's near Alexandria. I'm not sure which based on that picture. Another one of Michonne here at the Oceanside as well, and Luke and some of the others. Michonne looks concerned in this one. Why? Not sure. Also have Judith here too. And then we have Michonne and Judith in this one. Looks like it's nighttime, probably during the stay, that we haven't really seen because we haven't seen them just recently since they kind of left. And then one here of her embracing Judith and looking kind of sad. Another one here of them kind of talking. And then a walker walking through, could be close to Oceanside or could be close to Alexandria. Not sure which. Okay, maybe in this one it's close to Alexandria because we have Carol here. And it looks like, is that Aaron in the background there? Kind of looks like it, so maybe he's the one who is with Gamma in the other picture. But we do know that they were going to try to do something with Gamma. That's why Daryl had said to Carol in the promo trailer that he was confused because they're going to help, or they're going to trust a Whisperer now. because he doesn't think they can trust Gamma. Whatever idea she has, he doesn't believe it, which definitely makes sense. But from our perspective, we got to see that. Her losing her sister, Alpha lying to her about Lydia, all this different stuff. It certainly makes sense that Gamma would turn on Alpha now for sure, from what we know, but not from what Daryl knows. So here we have Daryl at the front, and then you've got Magna 2, and then is it Connie behind that, Carol, and then the others, and Kelly, and then whoever's behind that too. And I'm thinking this is probably going to be near Alexandria. So something going on near Alexandria, something going on at the ocean side. And here we have a bunch here. Jerry's back, so that's cool. He hasn't been in episodes for a while, right? I don't think we've seen him since maybe the season premiere. So we'll see that. And then we have Alpha. So where is this one? Is it near Alexandria, or could we possibly see Alpha at the ocean side? I think probably near Alexandria. Of course, Negan's in there somewhere too, but we don't really see him in these preview pictures. So she's there. Then you have another one here of her. Maybe Lydia's shown up at some point here, and the others are questioning her, and she's acting like, oh, I thought you were dead or something. I don't know. That's when I see her put her hand on her chest like that, on her heart. I think like, maybe she's trying to cover, because maybe they found out now that Lydia is in fact still alive. And then we have Rosita here, who's killing some walkers, it looks like, with Eugene, I think, in the background there, which is good, because that means that she's starting to feel better again. So for people who had the prediction or thought that she would die from the sickness or illness, it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Now, she has been cast as, I think, Selena, right, in the Netflix, is it a movie or a series or whatever, whatever they're doing with that, so congratulations to her. But I don't think they're going to be killing her off just yet. Who knows? I could be wrong, but it looks like she's doing a lot better. In this picture, too, you can see as well. If you're sick, you likely wouldn't be out there fighting like that unless you're at least starting to feel better. And it looks like she is. She's not as flush as she was before, right? So that's good. So happy to see that. And then Eugene here with his wicked awesome ponytail. Almost looks native. That's cool. So not quite used to that. And then another one of Rosita killing some walkers with Eugene too. So that's it for the preview pictures. All right, so continuing along with this one from yesterday, guys, and if you happen to miss yesterday's video, no problem. Basically, the takeaway is there are reports coming out now, or at least one notable report in particular that we don't know if it's true or not. It claims to be from kind of inside AMC, or some information that's kind of coming out from sources close to TWD at AMC headquarters, or dead quarters, however you want to say it. I don't know if it's true or not. We still don't know. Some people think it's completely bunk. It's totally not true. Some people think it is. A lot of people think, that sounds about right. But I think even before that came out, we were kind of thinking that might be about right anyway, that we might see like a season 12 or season 13 kind of end, because we did know that that's when Daryl and Carol's contracts are up. So they have set up possibly an out for that, which is that maybe Daryl and Carol leave and they go off to Mexico or something like that, which I think they even said in this season 10, that they should just leave and just go and just leave everything behind, right? But they haven't gone yet, but at least it's kind of being set up right now that if they want to do that, if they need to do that, they're going to have an option probably to do that, because they've already mentioned it. Now, give it 2.5 more years, and then if they actually were to leave at some point, and then the series continued on sort of without them, it wouldn't be contrived or out of the norm, considering they already have been talking about at this point, in season 10 as it is already. So thank you guys for all your comments yesterday. One is movies that matter with the Viking says, Trev, don't believe this. We got this covered. Doesn't have any notable sources. They make stuff up the whole time. I was referencing it from the independent.co.uk, who I guess is referencing it from We Got This Covered. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe there's totally nothing to it, and we will see a season 13 or 14 or 15 or 16 or whatever. Basically, the deal is with me, if we get a season 13, or, well, let's start with 12. If we get to 12, I'll be happy with that anyway. That's 12, long, awesome years of Walking Dead. Lots of amazing stuff. The spin-off series as well, too, with Fear, running for another however many years it would be at that point. So it's like 20, between both series, it's like 20 seasons of Walking Dead, and then Universe, who knows how that'll turn out. If it's any good, you can add on more on top of that. So they have definitely done a lot of Walking Dead stuff if you factor in all the different series, and I think it's been great. So we just have to be happy that they've gone ahead and done that for us. And if the original series ends at the end of season 12 and it's true, that's fine. If we get a 13, I think that'd be great. And if they want to end it there, that's fine with me too. Anytime around there, I think it'd be good. I'd be happy if we get a 13, but if we don't, then and it ends at 12, then so be it, because we've had a really long, awesome time, with all these amazing episodes, 16 episodes a year, hour-long blocks. It's not easy to crank out. A lot of them are extended, and then if they do the movie too, at least one of them, a trilogy, awesome. But if they at least do one, I don't think any of us can sit here and say that we're disappointed with the amount that they cranked out. I think it's great. So the one question for this one is, would you rather see Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead universe continue on after the original Walking Dead canon series ends? So let's say at the end of season 12 or 13, the original Walking Dead series does end, and the report has something to it where they've decided that they want to continue Fear on further after that point and past that, and we actually see Fear outlive the original series in terms of it continuing on after that. Same with Universe, let's say. Would you rather see that happen, or would you rather see if the original Walking Dead series is lacking in terms of people, like a roster, because a lot of them have left? Daryl and Carol leaving is like a huge blow. How are you going to fill those two spots? You probably have Judith still, but how are you going to fill in those spots? The other idea was, which has been talked about in the past before, is could they possibly instead end Fear, cross over the surviving Fear roster into the original, if Morgan's still alive, if Alicia's still alive, if the others are still alive, Dwight and everybody else. Could we see it go that way instead? So which one would you rather see? And I'd like you guys to leave your comments here below. Would you like to see the original Walking Dead canon series end after 12 or 13 and Fear continue on? Or would you rather kind of go the other way? So the original Walking Dead series, Carol and Daryl go to Mexico or whatever, and you see and Fear ends, and then you cross Fear into the original series to bolster the roster and continue the story and maybe expand it out so it's not so based around Alexandria, but you have kind of a bigger sort of landscape with more locations and that. Because that's one thing that Fear has done really good in the last year or two is they've shown a lot of different locations. They seem like they're kind of always on the move. They're in and around. They're moving around a lot. So you do get kind of a wider landscape in that than we have been getting in the last couple of years, or almost ever really, for the original Walking Dead. So let me know what you guys think. Which would you like to see? I think it's a tough call to decide which one. The original series ending after season 12 or 13, if that's true, then, and Fear continuing on, I guess I'd be happy to have Fear versus nothing and Universe versus nothing. But, it's kind of like, almost feel like you want to keep that original series going. So if you have to fold Fear and then bring their roster into The Walking Dead and get a few more years out of it that way, that could be kind of cool as well to do it that way also. So I don't know, which one would you guys like to see more? I guess if I had a choice, I would prefer to see Fear end and then, bring it in. But I also do kind of like Fear too, and have liked it over the years, and I know not everybody does. So how would you guys feel about that if they cross the Fear roster into The Walking Dead, Daryl and Carol go to Mexico, and then they continue on with new storylines that are not based on the comic, that are whatever stuff they were going to do with Fear anyway after that? So that would be what I would prefer, but I understand that some people might not like that, because if they're not fans of Fear, then you're kind of taking that and kind of putting it into the original Walking Dead series to get some more years out of it, and it sort of can adjust the overall picture for the original Walking Dead, and they'd maybe think of it as cleaner to have kind of a Daryl, Carol, Judith type of sunset ending, and then have the other series kind of continue on in its own fashion, and not sort of integrate the shows that closely, right? It's kind of the opposite crossover. We've seen a bunch go from, or a couple go from the original Walking Dead into Fear. If you did it that way, you'd be bringing it back in and then going forward with that way. Like, can you imagine if Morgan was still around at that point and he had Lenny James and the others crossing, and then go forward in the original Walking Dead after that? Kind of crazy to think, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I don't think we can say for sure we won't see either one. These are probably all ideas that they're going to discuss if this is true as they get closer to kind of that end date and whatever they have planned. Marilyn SS said, I did say a while ago they should end The Walking Dead in 12 or Lucky 13, and then she refers to the Carol and Daryl thing and the possibility of them going to New Mexico. Yeah, so that's a good call. Or just in general, them kind of leaving the series and going south somewhere, and then, they just kind of disappear that way, and then eventually they could bring them back if they want to at some point. They're out there in the world alive. Because the thing is if, like with Rick too, if you helicopter him away, he's out there somewhere. You don't have to see him, and he's still alive somewhere. He's just not in the main series anymore. So it's sort of like a happy sort of ending for them to disappear, because then you don't have to kill them off. They can be out there surviving somewhere. And then if you ever want to bring them back for like an episode special or an ending special or a crossover special, if they want to do it, then you have that option. Whereas if you kill them off, it's final. You can never really have them come back unless it's in a hallucination or something like that. So, but one thing I noted down here too is that I am kind of mentally starting to prepare myself now, because as you guys know, I make a lot of Walking Dead videos every week. I try to do at least like 4 or 5 for Walking Dead Universe, be it Walking Dead Fear, and then eventually the third series, Walking Dead Universe, if that's what it's called. It might be called something else, Monument or whatever. But I personally am preparing kind of myself now mentally, which is that I'm thinking like, okay, another couple years of this with Walking Dead with the channel, maybe 2 or 3 years, hopefully 3 full years. After that, if it does kind of wrap at that point, maybe a fourth of continuing on after that, and then past that, I don't know, guys. So for people who are saying, like, I did get some support, and I do appreciate that from some people saying that, Wesley, for example, Richardson said, Trev, I'm sure you'll be doing content even though the main program that you talk about will be gone. Don't worry, bro. So I'm not really worried. I'm kind of happy with how long everything has lasted for already. If the channel, if after year 14 or 13, I have to kind of start to sunset the channel and the videos with you guys, or I have to kind of just do reviews and like once a week or once every couple weeks or something like that, and I just do it when I feel like it. And I'm not trying to create content 5 days a week or 10 videos a week or something crazy like that I used to do all the time. Sometimes I still do that, which is kind of nuts. If I just do like a couple videos a week or something like that, and I just do it when I feel like it, that may be something in the future that I may look at doing. I don't really want to do that, though, because I love doing this with you guys so very much. It's so much fun that I do enjoy it. So, a few more years, I think, and then after that, I'm really going to have to make some tough life choices on whether or not I'm going to keep kind of going with the channel, and if I want to do that, or if I have to switch to, maybe I do something else with my time instead, or I just relax for a while and take a few years off of doing extra stuff and just do my regular day job or something like that, semi-retire, something like this. I don't know, maybe retire from YouTube, that type of thing. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet, but we'll see. The thing is YouTube has become really, really difficult to do because there's a lot of people doing it, and it's not as great as it was a few years ago, I'd want to say, in terms of getting videos promoted and things like that. It's become very, very hard to do. Now, I don't really mention that a lot with you guys. I just do what I'm going to do anyway and just produce and then whatever, But thank you guys for watching the videos. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all your support. There are a few people that contribute via the Patreon, and I do appreciate that too. I think it's like $25 a month or something, so it can pay for a little part of a cell phone bill or something. So, or for stuff for the channel. I'm going to use this one for this Patreon month I'm going to update the backdrop a little bit. But if you guys want to, it's there. You can even $1 if I had a good number of people. I guess there's 25 now, so appreciate you guys. Or that many. It adds up to that much. But if you guys wanted to and you want to see the channel continue on further, I know there's only a few people who are going to want to do it, and I don't want to, I'm not going to beg you guys or anything. But if you want to support the channel, you could do $1 a month on Patreon or something simple like that, and maybe that could help it in the future if enough people did it. But I kind of am defeatist at that. I kind of know they probably won't. So that's okay. We'll see what happens. I'll commit to another 3 years with you guys. We'll see it through to the very end if that's when it ends. And then after that, we'll reassess and decide, what makes sense at that point. And I will try to review some other series as well, too, and do some other stuff also. So we'll finish up with one last one. Sny Flem Film says, I wouldn't mind if they do a year break after Season 12 if they do a Season 13. And, so a year break could be a cool option. I never really thought of that. That's something they've never done, but at some point it makes sense if they took a year off. I mean, that's just like, yeah, they certainly deserve it at this point. Maybe they should do that. Maybe that makes sense. Husey0507 with our last one says, how many seasons do you want? Christ, 12 seasons is a lot for a TV show. That's true, especially one that's running at hour blocks at 16 episodes a year and is as difficult to make as The Walking Dead is, because it's not just a run-of-the-mill detective drama or something like that that's pretty easy to make, right? So that'll be it for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Additional thoughts after yesterday for the whole possibly inside report that maybe season 12's end will be it for Walking Dead. The pictures, let me know what you think about those. Thumb up the video below. Patreon links in the description if you want to help out. Even $1 a month if you can spare $1 a month. I appreciate it. So for this one, see you guys again soon for another. Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.